everyone. Man, it feels like it's been a while. And as you can see from my Chelsea episode, I am not recapping Love is Blind this year. I think I will recap the final episode slash the reunion, but I don't have the time and I'm so late to the party, and that ship has sailed and is now on the other side of the country. It's too late for me to try to jump in and recap everything that you've seen. So, Jessica Vestal, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name properly because I haven't heard her name in any interview, but Jessica is the most conventionally beautiful woman who has ever been a part of the experiment that is known as Love is Blind. Now, I remember I watched a recap and somebody left a comment and said something um, Jessica isn't pretty like her, like a plastic surgery. That's a work of what plastic surgery does or whatever. Now, I I have mixed feelings about Jessica's beauty. Jessica is pretty. She is gorgeous. She is stunning. She is a 10. She is a dime. And I would just look at her every time she's on the screen. I'm like, this bitch is a natural model. However, it is also abundantly clear that she has had work done. Her boobs are fake. She might have some type of filler in her lips. She might have had extensive work done to her face and her body. I don't know. All I know is that the boobs look fake. She has curves. She has a bit of a butt. She might have had some type of BBL, a light BBL, or injections as far as the booty's concerned. But I don't know how much work she's done to her face or her body. It's just that it's very, very obvious that she does have fake boobs. And when I look at her, it's like, okay, but you can't. I was going to name someone a female celebrity. Oh, you know what? I don't want to be shady, but I'm going to just go ahead and lean in and be shady. And I'm going to say, even with plastic surgery, you cannot start off having a face like Amy Schumer and end up looking like Jessica. There is no surgeon in this world who would be able to do that for you. So, Jessica, if she didn't have work done on her face, or if she did, she was beautiful, period. Like, she walked in already genetically gifted if she did enter any surgeon's office to do any work. Unlike Kylie Jenner, who looks nothing like how she used to look. But anyways, when it comes to Jessica, she is gorgeous. Like, that's not a hot take. We could see this. However, she is always in full glam. She always has her hair done, her makeup done, her lashes done, her outfits sexy, form-fitting. I'm like, what does she look like without the makeup, without the glam, without her hair nicely styled and curled? What does she look like? She might look a lot more average than you think. Like, and she is in glam. So this woman has studied how to do hair and makeup. Studied it to the point where she gets cast on this show and she looks like professionals gave her beat every single day, and like professionals did her hair every single day. And honestly, Jessica makes me feel like one of those men who say that they want a woman to be natural. You know how a lot of guys will be like, I don't want a bitch who's had any work done. I don't want a girl who's always in makeup. I want a girl who wears her hair natural. When I look at Jessica, I'm like, how long does it take her to get ready? Because I wouldn't want to be with someone who needs to take a long time to get ready. And I also want to see what you look like naturally. I don't want you to be like saying, don't pull my hair, don't get my hair messy, don't smear my makeup. Like, I would want somebody a bit more natural looking And I know she was on a really popular show. I understand why she wants the glam, but I just felt like we should have seen her at some point not looking the way she was always looking. So that's what I think as far as like, would I want to be with somebody who is that done up all the time? And it's a very easy no for me. Regardless, though, she checks every box for what a lot of men are seeking aesthetically. Hair, amazing. Face, beautiful. Big fake boobs. Little waist. Hips. A bit of a butt. Not, fat. She looks like she probably hits the gym. I mean, she was really made for the entertainment industry. She was made to be in front of the camera. And she certainly knows how to put a look together for the camera. But, she is not exactly humble, is she? Now, Jessica is on Perfect Match Season 2. So, the producers / the company behind Love is Blind, I think they're called Connect. They put her on Love is Blind and then already filmed her on Perfect Match 2. Like, she is trying to remain relevant. She's trying to be famous. She certainly has a look for Hollywood. But Jessica is on Instagram apparently doing the most. Up in the comments, up under the comments like crazy, according to various comments I've seen on YouTube. Jessica is really online doing the absolute most. And if you I've gone to her Instagram a few times, and she's horrific at acting in her lip sync videos. She's like, she needs to be nude or up in a bikini. I'm sorry, because personality wise, I'm not seeing it, and acting ability, I'm not seeing it. I hate her videos so much. They are so bad. She is so thirsty, but I don't blame her for being up in the comments and trying to get her profile up. Why shouldn't you go on a reality show if you're not there to make some money? Bethany Frankel is the one who said that years ago when she was on Real Housewives of New York. She was like something along the lines of, what's the point of going on TV if you're not doing it to make money? And it's true. You're sitting there sharing your life with everybody, allowing everybody to weigh in and criticize you. You might as well make some money. So I don't fault Jessica for being thirsty and for having a plan, but I don't like her, and I will get into why. So, when Jimmy dumps Jessica, and as a viewer, it is very funny to watch Jimmy dump someone, because I think Jimmy dumped Jessica for a few reasons. Number one, because she has a 10-year-old son and Jimmy is a very immature child. Having a 10-year-old daughter. Sorry. Having a 10-year-old daughter? What's the big deal? Like, someone having a 10-year-old child, that's kind of the perfect age. The child is not in diapers. The child is not a toddler. That child is halfway there to being out of the house. That child, if anything, when you think about it, if you are with somebody who has a 10-year-old, by the time you and your wife have a kid, guess what? You got a babysitter. Like, you got a babysitter you ain't got to pay. So Jimmy is immature, and he did not like that Jessica had a child. So I think that's one of the reasons why he dumped her. I think he also dumped her because she wasn't Megan Fox. And as a viewer, it's super funny to watch Jimmy dumping a woman he thinks doesn't look like Megan Fox, who actually does look like Megan Fox. Jessica looks a lot more like Megan Fox than Miss I Look Like Megan Fox Chelsea. But Jessica has dark eyes. Megan Fox does not, but let's be real. As far as they don't even got to be twins like Jessica and Megan Fox. But attractiveness level, they're both dimes. But Jimmy dumped Jessica because she had has a 10-year-old, and Jimmy dumped Jessica because she is not Megan. She's not Megan Fox because he didn't know what she looked like. And then I also think that Jimmy dumped Jessica, and this is my own opinion, it's unfounded, but Jessica said that a man that she's with cannot like another girl's photos, and he cannot be looking at other girls on his phone. Are we in caves? Are we living in an Amish community? Are we not allowed to look at what we want to look at online? And does your man looking at a beautiful woman online devalue who you are and what you look like? And does that mean that he's cheating, or that he will cheat, or that he wants to cheat? Get some confidence. Whenever I hear something like this, it really throws me, because someone is going to cheat if they want to cheat. And looking at someone else's photos, liking their photos, even commenting, does not equal penetration. And no one has ever been able to stop someone from cheating. A cheater will make sure it happens. And a man, Jessica, or anybody like Jessica who has that opinion, guess what? The person that you're with is going to learn that it's a trigger for you if they're looking at photos in front of you. So guess what they going to do? They're going to look at them photos, and they're going to go out and do whatever they want, because cheaters are not cheating in front of you. That's not how it works. It's not this obvious, look at what I'm doing. Oh, I stepped in the door. Smell me. Smell if you could, smell a woman's cologne. Look everywhere. Look at my stuff. See if you find some empty condom wrapper. It's not taking place in front of you. Stop worrying about what's taking place in front of you and think about what's taking place behind your back. And the best thing you can do as a deterrent to help someone not cheat, even though it's out of your hands, as I've said, is be confident, and don't be in their face accusing them of cheating, and don't be asking them if they're happy with you or unhappy with you, like Chelsea. Everybody has a right to look at whatever they want to look at on their phone, especially if it begins and ends with what they're looking at on their phone. Someone else's photos, videos. Get over yourself, Jessica. It don't matter how hot you are. Other bitches are hotter. And guess what? Those other bitches didn't get any work done. And your man can look at whatever he wants to look at. That was such a possessive, odd, territorial, controlling view. And she said it. She was expanding on it for a few minutes. Yeah, he can't. Like, she had this whole speech about it. I was like, what is wrong? What's wrong? This isn't stopping anybody from cheating. We are allowed to lust after people because we're going to all find multiple people attractive. So moving on to why Jessica gave one of the biggest standout moments of this season thus far. It's her EpiPen comment. Someone who says you can't look at another bitch's photos, maybe because them other bitches didn't spend as much as she did on plastic surgery, but somebody who said that is someone who doesn't want you to look at other photos. That's an insecure woman, but then she's also very cocky, very conceited, very arrogant, very holier than thou at the same time as well. And when you think about it, just hit me right now that I'm recording this, Jessica is saying something like this to Jimmy, not knowing if Jimmy looks like Idris Elba, Brad Pitt, anyone who is like top tier sexy. She's saying this to him as not even knowing if he himself is fucking handsome. That's how conceited this bitch is. So, Jimmy dumps Jessica, as we know, And Jessica says that Jimmy ruined her opportunity and he should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself. Now, the problem with Jessica's speech is that she's entitled. This is not how you're supposed to behave on Love is Blind. This is not how you're supposed to behave on The Bachelor. This is not how you're supposed to behave on any of these dating shows, because every single dating show is a competition, which means that you can get cut at any moment and you are not entitled to a ring or a wedding or even a relationship. You're entitled to nothing. You're a contestant and you're competing. But she got upset as though she was supposed to get Jimmy, and that's not how it works. You were the dumbass who said, let me read this letter to my future husband. I watched the episode once, didn't listen to the letter, fast forward it again. It's embarrassing for me. I don't want to deal with the secondhand embarrassment. It's nothing I would do. I ain't giving a letter to my future husband to a man who hasn't proposed to me. I'm just not doing it. It's just too corny. I want no parts of it. But she's the one who did that. So she was so overconfident that she was going to get chosen. When she didn't get chosen, she threw a tantrum. And when Jessica threw her tantrum, she told Jimmy, quote, when you see me and realize what you missed out on, you are going to choke. You are going to need your epipen to open up your airways because you are going to be in disbelief of what you missed out on, end quote. Okay, so notice how she says, your epipen. That leads me to believe that Jimmy has an allergy and he has an epipen. Because she didn't say you're not going to need an epipen or a, the right way would be an epipen, but she didn't say a epipen. She said your epipen. So remember that these episodes are really, really condensed from the hundreds of hours of filming. So I feel that maybe at some point Jimmy had mentioned an epipen, because why else would she say your epipen, right? So some people thought that maybe that line had been rehearsed. It's not rehearsed because, again, she says your epipen. I think it was improv when she said that. It was a great line. I enjoyed it. I loved it, but it's a little too cocky for me. And her whole demeanor and attitude is too entitled for me. It's a competition, bitch. You might make it to the end. You might not. So she is just cocky and bitter. And then that day, she's in this black dress and heels. Did she think she was getting proposed to that day? Because she was definitely dressed up. And remember, in previous seasons of Love is Blind, the contestants were all dressed up when they were proposed to, and the men were dressed up when they proposed. And I remember hearing an interview with someone who said, and I might be wrong on this, but I feel that there is a designated day when people get proposed to and or something happens where everybody is dressed up. That's why all the other seasons, like, the bitches are always looking their best on the day that they're proposed to. And so, but this season, people were just dressed in any type of clothes when they were proposed to. So they're doing it differently in this season. But anyways, Jessica was really dressed up. So maybe she was really expecting a proposal and that's part of why she flipped. But it's just, that's not how you're supposed to behave. And I know people ate it up, thought it was so great, said she ate. Like, Jimmy didn't do anything wrong because guess what? Jessica had another connection in the pods. It's come out. She was dating Ariel, the guy who has a bun. And then he had issues with apparently fearing that her daughter might not like him because I guess she said if her daughter doesn't like someone, she's not going to date him. You know, some people just, they overthink things. That is really corny not to move forward because he should have just allowed himself to meet the daughter and then go from there without just like eliminating himself. So another reason why I don't like Jessica is because Jessica and Laura meet up in a bar at the end of episode 9, and Jessica said that she looked at Jimmy's Instagram because he sent her a friend request and she still has feelings for Jimmy. This is not true. Jessica's trying to remain on the show. Jimmy is not hot. He is not handsome. He is not sexy. She wants to stay on the show. She's thirsty, and I don't blame her. I would be doing that too. I'd be like, oh my God, I masturbated to him last night after seeing his Instagram, even if I was like vomiting, and dry heaving. So we see, I'll fast forward a little bit to say that Jessica is or was dating Harry Josie from Perfect Match 2. Apparently they were paired together and they had a date at the beach last week. If I'm not mistaken, you could see them two at the beach. Clearly they are dating. Harry is kissing her, etc., etc. But apparently they're already over, and Harry, he likes to just have these a revolving door of girls on his cock, just revolving door of the baddest bitches. He takes them down, every single one. Harry is 6'5", and so I think him being 6'5" is probably 80% of the reason why he gets every single bad bitch, because a lot of women are hung up on height. So it's like, if Jessica was really so devastated about Jimmy, she would not have already filmed Perfect Match 2, a full season of the show. She wouldn't have done it. She's fake. Like, we see that she's fake. She's a plastic surgery queen. We see it, but it's her attitude for me. And then how she's like, oh yeah, I think Chelsea is great for Jimmy. And it's like, she's a liar. Like, I just don't trust that. I just don't trust what she says. And, I don't have to like her. I really don't. She's not for me. As far as like Jimmy and Jessica possibly sleeping together, I think I will give my thoughts on that in a different episode. So I'm going to kind of leave that alone. But all I know is there is absolutely no way that Jimmy is Jessica's type in the real world without cameras rolling. Absolutely no way. And I would love to see who her ex-boyfriends or what her ex-boyfriends look like, but they don't look like Jimmy. So that is what I got to say about Jessica. I did enjoy her Epi Queen quote. She's way too conceited, way too cocky, way too arrogant, way too controlling and possessive and territorial. I think she is super fake. So she's not for me, but I wish her well. She went into this show knowing how to do glam to perfection in a way that I will never know how to do glam. And she is gorgeous. She killed it, but she's too plastic, too fake, too disingenuous for me. And personality-wise, I don't see it. I don't think she's funny. I don't think she's interesting. She did grow up really, really rough. It's really, really sad, everything that she's gone through. I think she seems like an incredible mom. I love that, but I don't got to be a fan of her. Look how many people have been on this show. I'm not going to be a fan of everyone. And I'm just going to obviously keep it a buck how I feel about every single person on this podcast. Love y'all. Make sure you like or leave 5 stars on whatever platform you're listening to. Subscribe if you're not listening. And I will keep recording these episodes, like I said, in exchange or in substitution for not doing recaps of this season. Trust me, that was the right choice. I was not going to throw it together. So much went down. And I was like, nope, I'm too late, too overwhelmed. But, in the coming months, I'll definitely have more time. And I will have someone to help with season 7. So look out for that. Love y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.